Problem number 11. We have four parts to this one, and it says given a sequence 3, 7, 11, 15. And we first of all need to determine whether the sequence is arithmetic or geometric. So I'm going to pull up the calculator, and remember, when it's arithmetic, we're looking for the common difference. When it's geometric, we're looking for the common ratio. And as we take a closer look here, we're taking 7 minus 3, which is 4. And then 11 minus 7, which is 4. That's kind of a good sign. And let's try one more time. 15 minus 11 is 4. And because we subtracted, that's the common difference. And every single time we ended up with 4, this one's going to end up to be arithmetic. And we have a common difference of 4, which it didn't even ask for that, but that's going to be important. Because when we come over here to part B, it says, find the equation of the nth term. So the far left on our screen, right underneath the record symbol, is the nth term symbol. And what we know is that the first term is 3. And our common difference is 4. And we're going to fill that back in there. We want to simplify this equation when we do. So when we write our first step here, it's going to be a sub n equals 3 plus n minus 1 times 4, our common difference. Then we need to distribute. We get 3 plus 4n minus 4. Don't forget to distribute that over the 1. And when we combine my terms, 3 minus 4 then is going to give us negative 1 plus 4n. And I kind of squeeze that in. I'm going to write it up top of here so that you can see it a little bit better. But what we ended up with is we ended up with a sub n. When we took 3 plus negative 4, we get the negative 1 plus 4n. If you happen to write 4n minus 1, there's nothing wrong with that. Now that we came up with that, what this says is it says, well, find the 20th term. So what that means over here is now we know a value for n. It's 20, and we're going to put it back into that formula that we just found, the negative 1 plus 4n. So this is going to be negative 1 plus 4 times 20. And we can type it into our calculator if we need to. Negative 1 plus 4 times 20, which is 79. So our a sub 20 is, what I say, 79. And finally, what we need to do is we need to figure out the sum of the first 24 terms. And really sorry, because I think it's going to be tight squeeze on your paper. But what we need to do is, and I'll try to divide it up, and that's something that you can do on your paper as well. This time, we know that n equals 24. So we're going to put 24 back into our function that we found in B. So this is going to be negative 1 plus 4 times 24. We type that in. Negative 1 plus 4 times 24 gives us 95. So our a sub 24 is 95. And we'll scroll back up here because we need to use the sum formula at this point. This is the sum formula here. And what we know is we know that n is 24 this time. And we still know that our first term is 3. And what we just found is that our a sub 24 is 95. So we're going to put those values back into the formula here. Try to separate once again. I'll go like this. So when we put this in here, the sum of the first 24 terms is going to be 24 divided by 2 times our first term, which is the 3, plus the last term, the term that we just found in this problem, which is 95. Again, you can type this in your calculator. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 3 plus 95 is 98. You can just type it in your calculator. A little bit easier for me to do 12 times 98. And this is going to give us the sum here, which is 176. Problem number 12. Again, here's the box that's at the top of your paper there. And we need to determine whether this series, and it's a series because it's added together, is arithmetic or geometric. So even though it's written with pluses, if you don't like that, then just look at it from the perspective of -4, if I can write it here, -4, comma, +8, -16, +32. And once again, we pull out our calculator to test this here. And we'll just start with the arithmetic, and it's going to be 8 minus the -4 gives us 12. -16 minus 8 gives us -24. Those numbers are different, so it's not an arithmetic, so it must be a geometric. Let's clear that out and let's try that again. 8 divided by -4 is -2. -16 divided by 8 is -2. 32 divided by -16 is -2. Because when we divide, we ended up with -2 every single time, this qualifies as a geometric. And even though it didn't ask for the question, we're going to need this. The fact is that our common ratio that we just found in the calculator is -2. And the nice thing about geometric is when we have to write the equation for the nth term, it's a little bit shorter and sweeter. We don't have to simplify. We're going to be using over here the third equation in the box. This is for the term here of a geometric. And our first value is -4. And our common ratio, like I said, we just found is -2. We're going to fill those values in. We don't know what n is. It says find the formula for the nth term. A sub n equals the first term times the common ratio to n minus 1. That is all we can do. We cannot multiply -4 and -2 together. -2 has an exponent on it. We just don't know what it is. But now here in part C, we will know what n equals. It says find the 21st term. That's our n. And we're going to put that back into our formula. So it's going to be a sub 21 equals -4 times -2 to the 21 minus 1. So we come over here and we're going to type that in our calculator. -4 times -2, caret there gets our exponent, and then it's 21 minus 1. And I know it's a pretty big number here. That's okay. We end up with this number here. I just want to scan in the calculator here. But a sub 21 equals -4,194,304. And then lastly, what we have to do is we have to find the sum of these. So that means that we need to use this second geometric formula. And what we're going to do this time is we need to know that n is 16. It says find the sum of the first 16 terms. But the only other information that we need is the information that we had in part B. Our a sub 1, our r. That's all that's in the formula. And we're going to put in the values now. Our a sub 1 is -4. And let me write this. S sub n equals. So a sub 1 is -4 minus, be careful here, -4 times r, which is -2, divided by 1 minus r, And again, R is -2. I'm looking up at part B to get that A1 and to get the R value. And when we do here, we're just going to type it in. If you have a fraction button, use it. And this one's going to be alpha y equals, here's the fraction button, and we type this in. -4 minus parentheses, -4 parentheses, -2 to the 16 divided by 1 minus a -2. Oh, don't want that second parentheses there since I didn't put another one in there. But when we press enter here, we get 87,380. If you do not have a fraction button on here, it's going to be parentheses. -4 minus parentheses, -4 parentheses, close the parentheses, times -2, close the parentheses, to the 16th, arrow down, parentheses. Don't forget that parentheses. That seems to be what some students are forgetting. Divided by parentheses 1 minus a -2, and we still end up with 87,380. So let's scroll down here, 87,380.